So good afternoon, everybody. We're going to wait a few minutes, hopefully wait on to get some more people online here. So we'll start here in just a couple of minutes. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Dr. David Green. I'm the Deputy Chief with the Fire Rescue Department and the county's Emergency Manager. I'm joined today by Paul Siegler, the Walterboro Fire Chief, Andrew Godown, Sergeant with Department of Natural Resources, Sheriff Charles Gent, Fire Rescue Chief Barry McRoy, and the Walterboro Police Chief Wade Marvin. And I appreciate all of y'all taking time out of your busy schedules to join us today. We want to take this opportunity to address any questions you have, but first we'd like to address a few topics. In the meantime, if you have any questions, you can visit the link on the board there, which is colletonfire.com/question. That's without the S, question. colletonfire.com/question. So first, Colleton County Fire Rescue's Emergency Management Division and many of our emergency support function partner agencies have been operating for 31 days now. Unlike our usual emergencies, such as a hurricane, the COVID-19 pandemic is a public health emergency. The South Carolina Department of Health and Environmental Control is the lead agency in managing this incident. We're in constant communication with DHEC and the South Carolina Emergency Management Division to adjust our operations as needed, conduct short-term and long-term planning, and to ensure that we provide logistical support to all public and private emergency and healthcare operations. Several members of Fire Rescue's senior management have been working every day for the past month without a single day off to serve as members of the incident management team in various operations, planning, and logistical roles, and ensure that we can provide you, the citizens of Colleton County, safety and security while protecting the lives of our responders. Before we begin with the questions, we'd like to address the release of daily COVID-19 case counts and review the procedures for dealing with protected health information. First, let's examine the case counts. Each day, DHEC provides us with two case numbers, the total numbers identified in Colleton County and the current case numbers in Colleton County. Total case numbers are the number of confirmed cases identified since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic. Current case numbers are the COVID-19 cases identified in the past 14 days. Since 14 days is thought to be the recovery time for COVID-19 and the total case numbers will not decrease, it is important to place more emphasis on the current case number than the total cases. Our current case number can decrease if upon investigation a COVID-19 case is moved to another county or state and if a COVID-19 patient recovers from the disease. This is sometimes a source of confusion among the public. For example, let's assume we had 20 total cases and 16 current cases yesterday. If we are notified of 2 new cases today, but 3 cases are moved to another county, we would have a net decrease of 1. We've heard several complaints that this makes it very difficult to know exactly where all of the COVID-19 cases are, and that is exactly right. It's thought that for every case identified by DHEC, there are up to 10 unidentified cases in Colleton County. No one, not even DHEC, knows exactly where all of the COVID-19 cases are in Colleton County. That is why our hand washing and social distancing initiatives are so important. Yesterday, we had 3,656 cases in South Carolina with 107 deaths, one of which was tragically in Colleton County. We still expect the number of cases and deaths to rise in South Carolina as well as in our county. We've had a number of calls demanding to know the names of the patients that have been diagnosed with COVID-19. We do not receive the patient names from DA. If we did, we could not share the names with the general public as it is protected health information. Some that have contracted COVID-19 have used social media to alert their friends and neighbors so that they can monitor their own symptoms. Others prefer to keep the fact that they have contracted COVID-19 private. It is an individual choice. Fire rescues, firefighter, paramedics handle protected health information many times a day during the course of their regular responses. Fire rescue will never share protected health information, including patient names, with anyone outside of what the law permits. Finally, our COVID-19 pandemic response was complicated on Monday by a tornado outbreak. As of yesterday, the National Weather Service in Charleston has confirmed 4 tornadoes that occurred on Monday morning. 3 of these were EF1 strength and occurred in a path from Snyder's Highway at Cypress Pond Road through the city of Walterboro and continuing through Roundo and Cottageville. The 4th tornado, rated an EF2 strength, occurred on Edisto Beach and caused significant damage to several homes along the beachfront, including several where the persons were trapped but uninjured. It is thought that the tornado that caused massive damage at the Low Country Regional Airport also caused a tree to fall on a residence on Barricata Road. 1 person self-extricated. Fire rescue, firefighter, paramedics, assisted by sheriff's office personnel, were able to rescue a child that was trapped under the tree. And tragically, an adult female died as a result of the tree falling. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the family of the woman killed during Monday's tornado outbreak. SCDOT, Colleton County, and City of Walterboro Public Works Departments and energy crews have been working very hard over the last few days to clear roadways and restore power to all residences. As of this morning, all roads have been cleared and only 9 power outages still exist in Colleton County. However, there is some debris still on the shoulders of the roadways, and energy crews are still working in the area. So please drive carefully if you have to leave your home. So let's get to some of the questions that are coming in. The first question is, why is the front store open at Walmart and Walgreens? Walmart has curbside and Walgreens has a drive-through. And we'll let Chief Marvin with the police department.
Good afternoon. It's a good question. Both of these stores fall within the government's, or the governor's mandate. We have done spot checks on several businesses to include these, and they are well within compliance. So we see that they're still practicing the social distancing. They're cleaning their buggies. We feel like everything's on course with those stores. We have no complaints.
Okay, thank you. The next question is, restaurant drive-thrus are open only. What safety precautions are employees that are preparing and serving food taking to not spread the virus to coworkers and customers?
All restaurants still have to fall within the DHEC regulations, and I know that they've, I'm sure, heightened that as well. But each individual restaurant falls within their company policies. Once again, any complaints that we receive, we do follow-ups, and we kind of spot check, and everything that we've seen, people are going above and beyond to ensure that they're following the guidelines set forth.
Okay, the next question is, how are non-essential businesses permitted to reopen before the order has been lifted? If you are allowed to open even with restrictions, then why not allow everyone to do the same?
That's a good question. We've had several phone calls and inquiries to different businesses, whether they were allowed to be open or not, if they're essential or not. That falls back to the Department of Commerce in the state of South Carolina. We have personally walked in several stores, asked some questions. That individual business can email the Department of Commerce and get a response back. Any store that we've looked into has been within compliance so far. So if you have any questions or concerns, you can follow up with the Department of Commerce if you have a concern about a business being open.
The next question is, how up-to-date is the CDC webpage? Are they reporting numbers from the last 24 hours each? And I researched this before we started the live stream event this morning. It looks like their situation summary was last updated on the 7th of April. So the data on the CDC webpage appears to be about 9 days old. I would encourage everyone to check the DHEC webpage. I believe it's SCDHEC, that's scdhec.gov. That's where they're doing the state of South Carolina announcements, and it's updated daily, so that's probably a better place to go to see updated numbers, at least for the state of South Carolina. The next question is, I want to know if it's okay to walk the track at the rec center for exercise. And Chief McGoy, you want to take that one?
Sure. The governor has not replaced any restrictions on exercising outdoors. We would encourage you to remember to exercise social distancing when you're doing so. The walking areas at the rec center are open. However, the facilities at the rec center are closed.
Thank you. The next question is, how are you making sure that all businesses are following the CDC guidelines for social distancing? Who do you notify if you know a business is not following these guidelines? Sheriff, you want to take that?
Sure, and as Chief Martin said as well, the officers and deputies are doing checks at some of these businesses. We're also responding to any complaints. Realistically, the law enforcement officers are probably going to be the first ones to respond to any kind of complaint. We can also make referrals to any other agencies that have jurisdiction over specific businesses. So the easiest way is probably to report it to local law enforcement. You can also, if you have contacts in the businesses, if they're nationally known businesses and so forth, there are options to contact them as well if you want to lodge a complaint.
Okay, next is, has Highway 17A opened back up? So I guess that's from this morning. And Chief, you said the road is reopened.
Yeah, the road on Highway 17A, Hendersonville Highway, was blocked earlier today due to a dam was breached at a pond north of that location, or south of that location. It was flooded for a while and closed for about 2.5 hours. DOT crews have been out there. City of Walterboro responded initially, and of course it was not safe, so they had to block the road. DOT has been out there working on the shoulders on both sides because a lot of the dirt was washed away, but it has been reopened.
The next question is, can churches hold services on Sundays? So Sheriff, you want to take that?
Yes, the governor's order was not specifically intended to encroach upon any protected constitutional rights, among that the right to be able to assemble for the purpose of worship. So yes, churches can hold services on Sunday or other days, but we are encouraging churches and church leaders to try and set a good example for everyone to make sure that they're observing all the precautions that are necessary under this event. A lot of churches are doing alternative type services, online services, or they're meeting, in cars where they can observe certain distancing practices. And if they wish to go that route, we just encourage them to take care of all their people in doing so.
Do we have any other questions coming in?
Not at this moment. Maybe to talk a little bit about what each agency is doing to ensure the safety of the residents and first responders. Got a lot of questions about that.
Chief, you want to start?
Well, as we mentioned last week, our first responders, the firefighter paramedics on the ambulances, they're wearing double gloves, masks, and you may see them wearing like lightweight surgical gowns. You shouldn't be alarmed. They're just protecting themselves and you. These items are disposable, so once they reach the hospital, they are thrown away and they're not reused. Many of the police officers are also wearing masks, and I believe they've got gowns as well.
We do have some options for those PPE as needed, yes.
As we mentioned last week, the 911 dispatchers that work at the Sheriff's Office, they're screening every single call that comes through 911. And they're asking a series of questions. And as we mentioned, this does not delay the response, but we do ask that the citizens that are calling 911 please take the time to answer those questions. And that kind of gears or drives what the responders will be wearing when they arrive. If they meet a certain criteria to where they suspect they may have some exposure or may have symptoms of COVID-19, then the responders, of course, will wear more PPE. That's protective equipment. And if they don't, then they may not be wearing any protective equipment at all.
Okay, there is a couple more questions here. What about school reopening with the number of cases increasing? I would think, of course we don't have an official announcement on that, but I think the last one was through the month of April. So I would think, in the next week or two, we would expect some sort of an announcement from the governor's office on on an extension of that if that's appropriate or whatever his decision is. Of course, I'm sure he's consulting with the superintendent of education, and so I'm sure we can expect a decision on that probably forthcoming. The next question is, have any county landings opened back up for bank fishing? Sorry to go down.
No, not at this time. We are waiting on the governor's orders to determine when the landings will be opened back up. So all public county landings are still closed at this time.
And I believe the governor is having a conference at 4:30 today, so I mean that may be part of his announcement. We don't know for sure, but if you want to tune in to ETV or some of the local stations, they may be broadcasting his whatever he's going over.
Right. Anything else? Any other questions going in?
The city of Walterboro, I know we had a lot of damage in a lot of different areas. We would encourage you to call in. We can do what's called directed patrol. And if you see something, or you have a residence that's not secure, or a business that still isn't what you want it to be, or a loved one that you want us to check on, we encourage you to call us, and we'll put you on what's called directed patrol. And it can last for a couple of days or up to 2 weeks, depending on the conditions or the circumstances surrounding that. So don't hesitate to call us. We'll be glad to help in any way we can. If you have questions, we encourage you to call. We can come to your residence in person, handle it by phone or email or text. If we don't know the answer, we'll reach out to the people in the room and help you find that answer. So any complications or anything that we can do for you during this crisis, please feel free to reach out.
We have another question. Is Bear Island open?
Yes, so Bear Island is open 7 days a week from daylight till dark. Social distancing still occurs, so you can go to Bear Island to fish, but still practice good social distancing.
Okay. So we have another one coming in here. What are road deputies doing to ensure the citizens' safety during this pandemic?
Okay. We recently implemented much as Walterboro City has as well, a service where we're minimizing as much contact as we can as far as non-emergency calls. So one of the things we're doing is we're taking a lot of calls over the phone. A lot of times when you do call for a complaint, you may have a deputy following up with you on the phone. If it is an emergency call, of course we're going to come. We're going to bring any resources we need to bear. The deputies are using appropriate PPE when necessary. Deputies are also on patrol checking for people who would take advantage of these circumstances, trying to check on people who would be committing property crimes and so forth. I'll be frank with you, we're also seeing a lot of increases in certain inter-family violence and domestic violence type cases. I will say we urge everyone to keep in mind that during crisis situations like this, it is natural for people to be stressed out. We encourage all of you, don't take that out on your family. Take the time to take a step back and realize that everybody's in this all together.
Thanks, Sheriff. Next question is, do we know if the patient that passed had underlying health conditions? And the answer to that is no, we don't know that. That would be, their medical history would be part of the protected health information that we're not allowed to release even if we did get it. I think the question, if you look at the statistics that DEC has released, I think there's the large majority of the deaths have been associated with people 51 years of age or older and people that have an underlying health condition. Not to say that the death that occurred in Colleton County is a result of an underlying health condition, but certainly if you look at any of the data, the patients that have underlying health conditions or that are older seem to be a higher percentage of the deaths, both in South Carolina and nationwide. Is the Sheriff's Office issuing metal permits during this time?
You can contact our office at 843-549-2211 and speak with someone at the desk about metal permits.
The next question is, when will public boat ramps be reopened for responsible anglers?
As soon as the governor issues that order, that is completely left up to the governor. And as soon as he feels that the time is right, he will open all landings.
And Sergeant, we were talking earlier about the movement of boats. You can be moving in a boat, and you can only anchor when you're fishing. Is that correct?
Correct. So if you launch from a private landing, or you have somebody that lets you use the boat behind their house, or you're on the waterways, you can be anchored if you are fishing. If you are on the water, otherwise you need to be underway. So there's no conjugation with sandbars. There's no tied up boats together. People need to be moving around or anchored to be fishing on it.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we got another one coming in here. Still there. Are there any issues with turkey season regarding the COVID pandemic?
No, turkey season is still open. Turkey season will still run. Nothing has changed as far as that. A lot of the WMAs, they're still open. The only thing that did stop was the Donley draw hunt. That was canceled. But other than that, turkey season has not been affected.
Any more? Okay. Well, I think that'll conclude our live stream for today. I want to thank all these gentlemen again for taking time out of their busy schedules and joining us today. We appreciate y'all's questions. On behalf of everyone here, please call us if you need us.